Hey guys, this is Sam from Forza Crowd giving you guys another video. Four-way, alright? The topic today is just going to be about dating in general. So guys, I'm just going to say this off rip, alright? In this quarantine season, I haven't touched a woman in a while outside of my mom. And,
The
well,
Whoa.
fuck?
Whoa.
it's not, okay, listen. Only
They-
hugs, alright?
Yeah, they better only be hugs up in there.
Only behind hugs.
Uh,
So one of the ways I'm gaining human contact is through, like online dating, obviously. Like I'm on Tinder a lot, right?
uh-huh.
But I'm having a hard time with Tinder because like we can't go on dates.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm matching with people and like Tinder, by the way, Tinder is the hottest it's been, dude. Like it's like just nothing but people on it right now.
Mm-hmm.
But like I feel like all the conversations go for like 3 seconds and then you just stop talking. Because it's like all you can really say is like, yo, you want to Skype?
Really? I've had the opposite. I feel like this
Oh,
is the most
okay.
active. I'm also a stud, so makes sense. But
I have plenty of dates. I'm just saying I lose interest, okay? Mr. Big Dick.
Oh yeah, it's all Sam.
Yeah.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, man.
No, I think it's been like you said, like everyone's at home, so there's nothing really else you can do. So there's just a lot more going on. You know what I mean?
Wait, a lot more going on. What?
Like on Tinder,
Oh yeah. Okay,
right? Because like before, you'd match with someone, and then like you could send a message, but because women get like what 4 times, 5 times more matches than guys do, they probably get to your message like 3 weeks from now, and then at that
Yeah.
point, it's like, do you really care? But like now, they don't have anything to do, so they're just responding to all the messages,
Well,
right?
I didn't tell you guys this, but I started fucking around and I just started messaging random shit to people just to be a dick.
Uh-huh.
So like
That seems like
I
something you would
messaged
do.
this one girl. I messaged this one girl, and I wrote in her like thing. I was just like, "Are you really gonna wear that?"
Are you? Wait,
She unmatched me.
you're savage.
I was bored. Yeah, I was bored. I was really bored. But like, you know what it is though? It's because like I do have a couple people who are I'm like, all right, this is dope, and I'm like, I literally told them I'm like, we'll hang out in like 3 months. And yeah, that's as far as that relationship's gonna go.
Wow.
Because you guys already know, right? I don't know if I've mentioned this to you guys, but I've told this to Cortland before, and he knows. I have the perfect date. Okay. Right?
Uh-huh.
I've said this to you. I think I may have said this to Brandon or Rico, but and I've said it to Cortland. The perfect date for all you guys out there who's looking for the perfect date. Now, bear in mind, this was also at a time where I worked at the movie theater. The movie theater is the perfect date. The reason why it's the perfect date.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what's up? What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, bitch?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, let's sensei talk. All right.
Fuck.
Sensei.
What's sensei
The
talk?
reason why
Sensei deadbeat dad.
Oh.
Listen, well, so the reason why I'm saying the movie theater is a perfect date is because it's very simple, right? The movie is about an hour and 30 minutes, an hour 45 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
If this is a person that you barely know, so if it's somebody off of Tinder, right? You say, "Hey, do you want to see a movie?" They go like, "Sure." Hopefully they don't like say no, but if they are okay with it, you go to the movie. You always meet up about an hour before the movie, and you talk to them, right? You hang out a little bit. You see if you guys have anything in common. If the conversation is great, you're gonna go. You're gonna watch that movie. You're gonna have a good time watching that movie. You're gonna come out of that movie and have something to talk about, right? And then from there, maybe the date will continue if you like each other. If you meet up with them an hour early and there's nothing to talk about, and you guys have nothing to really get on board with each other, you go watch that movie so you guys have something to do. You come out of that movie and then you have something to talk about. But if you guys still have nothing to talk about even after you've seen the movie, then you know this relationship is not going to work. So you can either just never talk to them again or try to hook up with them, but that's really up to you and who you are as a person.
Okay.
That's why. And you only spend about like $20. Unless you're buying food, but
See, I disagree with this because I find that like going to the movies is probably one of the most. It's pretty like a common thing to do. Like I don't feel like it's the most perfect date.
it's not perfect. I'm thinking it's the most tactical date.
I have a counter argument. You're
What?
in. This is such like the dating game, right? It's like for every one girl, there's like 4 dudes. you have to find a way to stand out, right?
Uh-huh.
If you go on a movie date, you're getting less time to stand out because
No, but
there's
if you have a personality, it works.
yeah, not all the time though.
If for people that matters, it does.
Sam, I
'Cause, like, you
Sam,
guys
I
look at-
guarantee you, if you're talking to a girl, right? Like you're talking to girls
Yeah.
on Tinder right now, I guarantee you there are 3 to 4 dudes just as smooth as you.
Oh, 100%.
Right, so you're
My
not
point is that
standing
when
out
you're
in any
going
way.
out-
So
No,
if
no,
you
no,
if
my
you go
point
if you
is-
go to a movie, right, you're taking away a certain amount of time to continue to stand out.
Hey, first of all, in this day and age, most guys are trying to fuck. You'll be surprised the amount of girls that I've asked out on a movie and they're like, I don't want to. Then I'm like, oh, you don't want to go to the theater? Then they're like, oh, wait, you mean like at a theater? I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? They're like, oh, I thought you just wanted to like watch a movie at your place. And I'm like, no.
Yo, y'all are talking about thoughts though. You're not talking about like wholesome girls. Like,
No, but these are the
like
girl
dating
literally
games
said to
and
me,
shit. What the
no,
fuck?
the girl
is all
literally
this
said to me,
like-
she's like, well, she said no the first time, and I told her no, I meant like at a theater, and she was
Right.
like, she's so used to guys off rip asking to hang out at their
So,
place.
Let me
That
just
they're-
interject here.
that's why I'm
real
saying the
quick.
bar is so low. You'll be surprised how low the bar is.
Oh, I know
Right.
how
Are
low
we
the bar
talking
is.
about? Are we talking about movie? Like this is a tactical date through Tinder or a tactical date in general? Because I agree, in general it's good. I also agree with Rico if it's through Tinder, but like if it's only through Tinder, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, no. But
That's a lot
here's
of
the
movie
thing.
tickets, bro.
No, but here's the
Like-
thing. Here's the thing. Well, the thing is, when I worked at the movie theater, I also got free tickets, so I never had to pay for the movie. So this is why I'm saying it was a perfect date, right? So when I say we meet up before the movie, is that time before the movie is pretty important. Now, this is all based on how the conversations in your text went. If you guys had good conversations in your text and you guys had fluidity and it worked fine, when you meet up for that that hour before the movie, that's where you find out if you guys have a connection like on like a like physical level in person. You know what I mean? Because trust me, there are plenty of girls that you can have a good conversation in the text with, but if you meet them
Yeah.
in person and you guys don't
No,
vibe properly, they won't
I
talk to
agree.
you. Then.
everything you've said so far checks out. So
Yeah,
I would
and the
agree.
thing is,
If
when
it's
I paid
if
for
it's
it
a
and when-
girl who's not out here hunting 17 guys at the same time, it works perfectly. Like,
Okay, so let me
No,
let
but,
me
no,
try
but
to
any
interject here.
attractive girl's always gonna have guys trying to get her. That's just what comes with the territory, right? Like it doesn't matter. Girls are if they're attractive, they're always gonna have guys in their DMs, Instagram. They're always gonna have guys hollering them on Snapchat. They're always gonna have guys on Tinder talking to them. They're always gonna have guys in real life talking to them. Guys are gonna approach them on the street. That's just the life that they live. They're attractive.
Okay, so I'm gonna interject here, okay?
Yeah.
I do not agree that's a perfect date. So a perfect date for me is
For
a
you,
date-
you've been in a relationship for 3 years, Corbin.
what the
Okay.
man talk?
And yeah,
Let the
he's
man
the most
talk,
but go on.
he's the most successful one here. So let the man
That's
talk.
not necessarily true. I think this all depends what you're looking for. Like, if you're looking for a relationship, sure, he's successful, I guess. But if you're
Uh-huh.
not, but go on, Corlin.
Okay, so a perfect date for me is a date where I can spend the least amount of money. Now,
Okay. Well, that's
No,
not.
I-
Yeah.
no,
Well,
no,
that's the
no.
most
But-
perfect date for
yo,
you.
I let
Yeah,
you talk. I let you talk.
I mean,
let me
yeah,
finish.
go for a talk, but
Let me
for
finish.
you,
But like, even then, that is kind of hard to find, even though, because like you mostly have to like create conversation, right? So if you're not that type of person where like you can be like easygoing, like make conversation, make a date exciting without you really spending money and shit, it's gonna be really hard. So I'm gonna exclude that right now. But I find the most successful dates are the ones where like you guys are more doing something than rather just watching something. Especially if the date is more of like a calm thing of just gonna watch a movie, because like I feel like that's pretty basic these days. Like it's kind of old fashioned, which is nice, but at the same time, it's like it's been done. I'm not saying my ideas haven't been done, but I'm just saying it's a little bit more different.
listen. I'm not gonna take a chick I barely know rock climbing and spend that much money on her. The reason why the movie date is a perfect date for a first date is because you can spend the least amount of money and still get to know somebody, and then find out if you want the second date.
My guy, why
If you
pick
go
the-
on a
why you
first
pick the-
date-
why you pick the most expensive thing? And when at the end of the day, like because you work at a movie theater, like it kind of caters to you. So like yeah, I can see why you would pick it, but at the same time, it's like okay, If
Well,
not,
even if you
if
don't
not
pick the
rock
movie
climbing,
theater,
if not
okay,
rock
what's
climbing,
okay? What are cheap
wait, wait,
dates?
let
What
me
are some
finish
cheap
though. Let me
dates?
finish though.
Everybody, throw out a cheap date right now.
Wait, let me finish though, okay? If not rock climbing, there's Laser Quest. If not Laser Quest,
How much is Laser Quest?
$10, $8,
Each, $20.
$16, $17
Plus
plus
tax,
tax.
like $20.
How much is a movie ticket?
Okay, I'm not
$12.
done. But is
How
your
much is a
your
movie
Wait,
date?
ticket?
hold
$12.
up,
How
hold
much
up.
is popcorn? $5.
Is
You better be
Corlin,
buying your bitch
Corlin,
food.
Corlin.
Because you're gonna let her starve
Corlin.
in the movie theater. Yeah, that's a bad date.
Hold
Corlin,
up.
Corlin.
You have to also think
But
about
Corlin, you're forgetting. Is the Laser Quest the only date? Part of your date? The Laser Quest, you go to Laser Quest is
Th-
10 minutes.
So
if you're
wait.
on a 10-minute date, I don't
Here's-
believe that. You're going
here's
to
the thing,
eat.
though.
You're probably
Yeah,
going to go to eat before or after Laser Quest. You're
Sam,
not going to
here's-
say, let's meet up at Laser Quest, then go our separate ways. That's
Why are you dictating my date? No, don't dictate my date.
Cheap
My
dates.
bad. I didn't know
One-
you were so bad at
one-
dating. My bad.
Shit,
Go
No,
on.
no, no. One. Here's the thing. Sorry, Rico.
Oh,
Me and
it's
Sam been
okay.
talking about this for a minute.
Apparently.
His ideal time of a date goes way longer than my ideal time for a date. For
Whoa.
a first
Okay.
date, I don't want to spend longer than 3 hours with you. Get
Wait,
to know
Laser
you
takes
and
not
actually
even
get out of there.
15 minutes.
wait. Wait.
It-
So, Chris, what's your ideal time?
3
this-
hours.
Okay, Sam, what's your ideal time?
First date?
That's
Sam-
how long the movie date is. What are you
No,
talking about?
No, Sam. We talked about this before. You agreed that you'll go on a 5-hour date with a girl.
Whoa, no?
Yeah.
That's not what I said.
Yeah.
We had this conversation before. Listen,
Okay.
How
Wait.
is-
Let's go back. Okay. Gonna meet up an hour before.
Uh huh.
You're gonna go watch a movie. That's 2 hours. You're
Yeah.
gonna chill with her for another hour. That's about 4 hours.
Dude,
and
that's
you know, and knowing you because you talk a lot, you're gonna add an extra hour to that shit.
okay, I think you're getting something confused.
So
The
you're a
reason why my
5-hour
date
date.
works,
You're
the
a
reason why my date
5-hour
works
date.
is
I don't
very
wanna-
situational. My date is situational. Listen, if you are talking to her before you guys go on a date, if you guys sometimes before you go on a date, you're talking to somebody for 2 weeks through text, right?
Okay.
Now, in those 2 weeks that you're talking to them through text messaging, right? If it's good, because there's different types of text. There's a text where you try to hit her up all the time, so she's not as interested in you as you are in her, and you're trying the hardest, and then she finally agrees to your date with you. Or there's a type of text where you guys are vibing and you guys both meet up, and like a couple of days into knowing each other. It's all depend. My date works because it's situational. If you guys are having a great amount of time in your text, now you have to bring that greatness into real life. Now, sometimes though, because there's that pressure of meeting somebody who you only have really talked to through texting and online, there's a pressure to that. The reason why the movie date works is that hour that you meet up before, it doesn't even have to be an hour. I've done a 30-minute meetup before with a girl I wasn't too sure about. I did an hour meetup with a girl who I thought we would get along with before, and I did before a 15-minute meetup before with a girl who I definitely did not like, and I was just trying to get a little bit of booty. The point is, the reason why my date works is because it's situational. If it's a vibe, you meet up an hour before. If it's not, you can drop that hour to 20 to 30 minutes, and then you talk. That time that you talk, you can see if she even like reciprocates any type of energy that you have in that hour. If she does, you watch the movie, you enjoy yourself, you see a movie that you've already wanted to see anyways. Then that movie's done. And when that movie's done, depending on when you saw that movie, whether it's the afternoon or night, if it's in the afternoon, sometimes you don't want the date to end. And if you had a good time with her before and during the movie, right, you guys can go grab something to eat, right? Or, if it works out, she might actually go to her place, right? But if it was a bad time and you know that you're not going to like this girl, you can say, oh my God, that was a great movie. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. You guys go your separate ways and you never talk again. And most of the time when you go on a movie date, you don't even have to buy food. Because a lot of the times, depending on the chick you're with, won't even ask you for food. Or you say, do you want anything? They'll say, just maybe like a water or like a drink.
That's
what girls
still
usually
like a
say.
$5 water though.
Oh, 100%, right? But if you're buying dude, go on Cheap Tuesday. Bro, this is a vibe. Like, bro, think about this. You guys are not thinking Cheap Tuesday. Movie tickets are $7 each. Boom, $14. She wants drink, that's $5. Boom. We are still under $20 on this day. Then you get to see a movie that you wanted to see.
Cheaper, but still.
Okay,
What?
I have to interject here, because Sam, I have done your movie idea.
When?
And what do you mean when?
When?
I had a span where I was a serial dater. I dated a lot
Yeah, I
of
did.
women
When did you do
in a short amount of time.
Oh, and also I forgot to add one thing into when I did do the movie date and I was working at the movie theater because I did both. When I when I was working there and when I wasn't, when I was working at the movie theater and I got free movie tickets, I never told the girl I was working there, and I always had her buy the food. So I would say, "I'll get the tickets, you get the food," and I would got the food.
It's fucked
Damn.
up. Anyways,
Terrible.
from my
Yo,
experience,
wait, I'm sorry, Rico. Wait, sorry, Rico. No, Don't take no advices from Sam on it.
No, well, here's the thing.
Yeah, no license from Sam. Yo, Sam got free food and booty. I think Sam's winning.
Booty. No
From-
booty is gonna be like, I paid for this shit.
No, you say I got the tickets, you get the food. That's usually
From-
really fine. Or if you say I get the tickets, or if okay, this is what I used to do. I used to get the tickets in advance because I worked there.
Uh-huh.
So I got them. I had the tickets already, so we never had to go to the cashier, right? And then she'd be like, "Okay, let's get the tickets." I'll be like, "Oh, I have it right here." And she'd say, "Oh, you got the tickets already?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's all good." She's like, "Oh my god, thank you." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's all good. I'll get the food." And I'm like, "Are you sure? Yeah, are you sure? Like, I'm cool." Like, no, you got the tickets. I'll get the food. And this is if you're not dating like an asshole, by the way, guys. Like, most of the girls that go on dates are not like complete assholes. So like, they usually just buy the food.
All right. So from my experience, in a short amount of time, I went on a lot of dates. The movie date was possibly the worst one out of all the shit I did, and that included
that?
bar hopping, which I hate. The movie
How was the
date,
movie date?
the movie date was bad because it ended up being exactly what I thought it would be. It was you meet up, right? You have like you small talk for a bit, and then you sit next to them for an hour and a half. You don't talk, right? And then afterwards, and no, well, if you're talking, I mean, if you're gonna talk through the movie, you might as well not be at the movie. You're
No,
there.
but sometimes when you make this funny side comments during the movie and you guys laugh together. That's fine.
Yeah, sure, but some people hate that,
Yeah, 100%. It depends on the girl, but go on.
of course. And then afterwards, you have something to talk about. Okay, that's great, but like you can't go anywhere from there. You didn't.
Yeah, you can.
No, you didn't stand out. You brought her to a place where for an hour and a half you had her, and you didn't do anything. You didn't stand
Oh,
out.
To
You-
be honest, Sam, I think you need to revise your game.
No.
I don't know.
Right now, because
Rico,
right,
I don't know.
I don't know. Listen,
Rico puts
this
up a
is where
different-
having game is important, though. This is
Okay.
where having games is
There's
important.
no game.
Uh-huh.
entertainment
Corlin,
for
let
a
me
movie.
finish.
But
Corlin,
there's
you
no
know
game
me.
entertainment
Corlin,
for
why
a
are you
movie.
talking to me like you don't know me? Stop it.
What do you mean? I don't.
You know me.
I
Shut
know
up.
you well.
Alright.
Corlin,
Yeah, I do know you well.
Let me
That's
finish.
why
Let
I'm
me
talking
finish.
to you.
Let me finish. At the end of the movie, right? When the movie's
Uh-huh.
done,
Yeah.
you guys talk, you're walking out, you have that movie to discuss. You then say, if you like her and you're interested in her, you say, well, I'm having a fun time. Are you? Yeah, sure. Yo, you want to keep doing something? Sure. It's that simple. Then the date can continue. Then from there, you stand out. The reason why you stand out at that point is because in her mind, that date could have been over at that point, but because she had a good time with you,
She had a good
and
time.
maybe she's and let me finish that
Alright,
time
alright.
before you talked, right?
Uh-huh,
Depending
okay.
on what you do. So
Yeah.
my move specifically was I took her to a movie theater that was beside the mall.
Uh-huh.
That was beside. Listen, it's all about location, bro. I planned this.
Uh-huh.
I'm not simple, right? I took her to the movies. The movies was beside Chapters. The movie was beside the gym. The movies beside the mall, and the bus stops. So if you need to go anywhere from there, we can go somewhere. Like me after that movie date, it's like if I like her, if I don't like her, I can leave. 'Cause, like,
Wait,
our date is
I
done.
gotta pause you for a second. Why the fuck did you mention chapters?
Because I like reading books
Oh god.
and girls and
Yo,
girls.
you're gonna bore this bitch to death. Yo.
No, Corlin, I'm not a boring Corlin. I'm not a boring. I'm not. Listen, my crackhead energy, the chapters is blessed. You'd be surprised how many girls I pulled in chapters. Listen, the reason why it works is because girls like watching guys be passionate about something. Okay, and that's a fact. If you go to a movie, if you go to chapters and you can say I've read almost every one of these books and tell them, and especially if she's into books too. This depends on the girl.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
It
This all
dep- yeah,
depends.
It obviously
Bro,
depends.
this all depends on the type of girl you're with. But the thing is, if you know how to talk to somebody, you pull out that information from them, right? That's like it's even if you do customer service, right? If you're a salesperson, the point of your sales job is not to just sell; it's to ask questions that lead to the sale. That's how this is how you can approach women as well. You
Okay,
ask
so-
questions that lead to the win.
So
If I finish this movie and then I
okay,
say,
you're done. You're done right now. Anyway, you talk too much. So just to like finish off what you're talking about.
don't finish off my point. Let me finish.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish off your point because you've been talking too much. At the end of the day,
Jesus Christ.
the date does not really matter as long as you have the personality to back it up.
What?
Because right now I'm good. Hundred percent.
In
Because
general, yeah.
at the end of the day, like you can have like a shit personality, but the date can be amazing and the girl have a terrible time.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
and in Rico's opinion, and I think Brandon's opinion too, a movie's not going to be our number one choice.
Wait, Corlin. The reason why I said the movie date is a perfect date is because it's low costing, and it's the best date.
That's all debatable.
Listen,
that's all debatable though.
No. And
no, it is because like I just gave you a couple of dates that could be a lot cheaper, so it's all debatable.
Not really though. Not really though.
It's
Your
only
dates
low cost. No, it's only low costing for you because you get free tickets. So you cannot say that.
I'm literally telling you that it's not only that because I did this date when I did not work at the movies. The reason why I'm saying is okay.
But you done.
Let me ask you guys this. Hold on. Let me ask you guys this question.
At the end of the day,
what are some low costing dates? What are some low costing dates? This is for people who are listening to. What are some low costing dates?
What do you consider low costing? Like, I think like $25 to $30 is like extremely low costing.
Yeah, exactly. Most people spend about $80 on a date.
Exactly. So I would say like, I mean.
So where would you go if you're trying to spend? Let's say you're trying to go on a date, but you don't have too much money. Where do you go?
I mean, I feel like you could get anything for around $20 to $30 if you look.
What?
If you look well enough.
I'm asking you what you would do.
Okay, I'd probably do like a pool or like a bowling type thing. Like there's a couple of spots like that.
Okay, well, pool's kind of expensive.
I mean, not really.
Pool's about like $8 if you find that spot.
Yeah, but you're getting drinks probably, right?
Well, we're just talking about the activity, right?
Yeah, but you have to understand whatever you do in the date usually can lead to other things, right?
I think
if you're going out to laser, that's why I said when you said laser tag, Corlin, to me, I'm like that doesn't sound like a date because laser tag when you go there is only about 10 to 15 minutes, then it's done, unless you go another round. Then when laser tag is done, what do you do from there? You probably either you do something else, and if you guys go your separate ways after laser tag, that's a bad date. So you'd most likely do something after laser tag, right? And if you're gonna do something, that's more money. That's my point.
Well, what about just the overall like good date rather than looking at the money aspect?
Well, not just money. What if you want to leave her, right? Like, what if the date's shitty, right?
Right.
Like, what if you don't like her?
Well, at that point, you just cut that right there. I mean, you're not gonna.
Oh damn, you're savage like that.
Well, if you're not having a good time, I mean, like.
Well, maybe it's not a good time, but it's just like she's average as hell, so it's not something you're like.
Wait, on a side note, have you ever like left the date like right on scene just because of how bad it was going?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I want to hear this story.
Wait, you just left a date? Like?
Oh yeah, yeah. I got up. All right, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I need to hear this story.
We sat down at it was like a pub kind of thing, and our waiter was black, and he didn't hear something properly. So when she repeated it and then he went away, she said, "Oh, N-words can never listen properly." I just got left.
Yeah, I love you.
Okay, that's a little different. That's a little different. Well, that's a little different because I didn't know we were going there. Like I thought it was gonna be like,
hey,
it was just like annoying and like you walked away. They're like, that's different. Like if someone's like, "Huh, those niggers," right?
Well, yeah, that's essentially like like she said it like hard R. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing.
Was she like a country girl or was she white? She was white, right?
She was white, yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's good.
She was also very hot.
But
I did it for the culture.
Yo, we gotta respect Rico on that one.
The amount of guys that probably still go for the chick, even though they know like their family and her, she's also a little bit racist just to hit. Like that to me is the funniest thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got a quick question for you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Baddest girl, like Beyonce bad, okay? But racist as hell. Will you still tap it?
Well, how am I getting it? Like, what's like? That doesn't know, guys. I'm black. So
what if it was towards like white people, like they were racist? Wait,
what? Like, what? What do you mean? Like she really hates white people?
Yeah, or Asian people. Just reversed. Like it wasn't racist.
So she's like black, but she just hates every other race.
Yeah.
She's bad.
She's bad.
He's tapping.
Listen, that I could join a Black Lives Matter rally. Yeah, I could do it.
Oh, Sam. I just represented for the culture. You're not gonna represent if some chick you're dating calls me a spick. Like, come on.
No, I'm not gonna hold it against them.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Like, I'm not ever gonna see her again after that. Probably, but the difference with that is like, if she was like racist to like a white person, at least I can understand if she's black. It's like what happened in your past? You know, it's like, yeah, like, you know, my dad was shot down by the hose back in the rallies, and you know, the white cop shot my brother in the. It's like, all right, well, I can't really argue that, you know. But if it's like a black waiter who doesn't hear your order and she says, "Huh, those just can't hear," like, what the fuck? It's like,
Yeah, it was.
Yo, how do you,
like, imagine like he tries to tie his shoe. He's like, "Whoa, he can tie his shoe, huh?" It's like,
yo.
whoa, you know, it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yo, that's
she-
kind of funny because like the day probably just started too, right? Rico?
It was 20 minutes.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What did she like call you while you walked away? She was like, "Where are you going?"
Oh yeah, she was like yelling while I was walking out.
That is crazy. Where'd you guys go? Like a bar?
It was like some pub downtown,
That's crazy.
and she had to pay for my drink because I didn't pay for it.
Sounds like king shit to me.
Nah, we out. We out of
What
here.
about you, Brad, have you had any crazy dates? Like, have you had any crazy dates?
I haven't been on too many dates with like a variety of people. I usually end up like legitimately dating after a date. So
Brad, you're one of those.
yeah,
You're the like, you're like, hey, I'm going on a date. Comes back, yo, I have a girlfriend. What?
yeah. It's usually how it goes.
How many girlfriends? How much people have you dated before?
4.
That's
One
a solid.
one of them was like 3.5 years.
Okay.
So
And how was the
I'm
other-
not a fan of like quick encounters and interactions. I kind of like, you know, a little bit more wholesome when it comes to that stuff.
So it sounds to me like Brandon's trying to look good in front of the female audience. Listen, guys,
Bro, no, I'm actually like
he
straight
can do a
up, like,
backflip, ladies. He can do a backflip
I mean,
No,
you know, for
into
help.
that.
I get that too. I think I'd rather have it like that, but you know, I went through a time in my life
You're
where
searching in the wrong places. You're on Tinder, bro. Like,
yeah, you're
Oh,
not
really?
wrong.
That's why I don't
You're
have
not
a
wrong.
Tinder, like,
Well, Rico, you came from an interesting aspect of like you never really went on a date until like you had your like kind of your what's it called when
Glow
when a
up.
caterpillar?
I had a
Yeah,
glow
glow
up.
up. Yeah, your glow up. You had a
That
glow
is
up.
correct. I found
No.
out that people found I was attractive. Yeah, and it went to
Yeah.
my head very quickly. That is correct. Yes.
I mean, I'd like to say I was your hitch in that situation. You know?
yeah, you were my thick Smith. We talked about this.
Yeah, I was a Stick Smith, so I got that one going. I was proud of myself. But I mean, in Cortland, and the reason why I beef with Cortland so much is Cortland's been married for about 30 years now, and I just don't think he knows the games like out here anymore. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm well aware of the game. I'm
From where
retired.
your couch?
I'm like Jordan. I can still play the game.
What do you?
but I'm just
Shut
gonna
up!
sit back and watch you
Buddy,
guys
you're
do
like
your shit,
Wizards,
you know?
Jordan. Like you have a jump shot, but you can't really do much else at this point.
You don't know shit. You don't know.
Like, calm down.
At the end of the day, you guys call me for relationship problems.
No, I
And I'm
don't.
gonna answer.
I've never
I am the
called you
key.
for relationship problems.
I am the key.
Cortland, I've never
Yo.
called you for relationship
Yo,
problems.
call me DJ Khaled.
I
You the
c-
best.
I call
I
you
am the
to
Messiah.
bitch.
Messiah. Pray
And
for
for
me.
anybody wondering, by the way,
pray for
I've
me
only
on
had
every
like one
Sunday.
girlfriend. I just want to point that out there before anybody goes like my dating history's fire. Like I've only had one girlfriend.
Chris, I to be fair, I just call Chris the bitch because I honestly don't understand women to save my life. But you know,
No, you're never gonna understand women. But one thing I've personally realized is just like maybe women probably can say the same thing about guys, but just how I feel. Every chick fits into some sort of a category, which sounds horribly sexist, but yeah.
do they though? Because I've found the opposite through my
What?
experience.
I feel like a lot of the people I've dated, like, or not me personally, but like there's something different about everybody. Obviously, like everybody has something that makes them different, but I feel like they fit into like a category of something. You
Okay,
know, whether
well-
it's like a hipster or like a emo chick or like
Oh, you're talking about that? Okay, I thought you were I thought you were talking about the category of what they're like looking for. Because
like in a relationship.
no, just like the kind of guy they're looking for. Like I guess relationship too, right? You have girls who are looking for casual. You have someone who's looking for just fun. They're friends with benefit. And you have people looking for marriage and all that shit. But I
I'll
always-
say this: all girls are looking for someone. They just haven't found the right one yet.
Wow.
wow,
Okay.
how
Deep.
profound, man. So,
Wow.
anyways,
I think I'm gonna tattoo that on my ass. right on my left.
He doesn't say pause. Like,
Yeah.
Sam, you confused the hell out of me.
I know what I said, Brandon.
It's like a girl that says she doesn't suck dick, right?
What?
She alive.
What?
Dude, what?
No, no.
What happened here?
No, but like, I'm just using this analogy.
Okay.
Technically, she hasn't sucked it yet.
There are
Yo,
women.
Corlin, you can tell Corlin's a predator. Corlin goes for like, those like
I will say that. I will say this. If I was single, I would be the fuckboy. I would be the cat.
Fam, you were
my
barely a
name
fuckboy
will be-
when you were single. What are you talking about? Corlin. Oh wait,
That's
actually, this brings up a question I want to ask everybody.
Yeah, what's up, man?
They're like too young for anybody here. So, for example, I mean, there's always too young. Let me just put that out there right now. Right? There's always a too young. But what I mean is, where's everybody's like stopgap? So, for mine, I'm 24. How old are you, Rico?
I'm 26.
Brandon?
23.
Corlin?
I'm your father's son.
Okay, you're 24. So how low is it you won't date seriously? So for me personally, I don't think I could date anybody under maybe 19.
Okay, yeah, that's about
Like
when
20,
it's
That's no
creepy.
different.
20
That's no different
is
from
like
18.
what?
That's no different from 18 then.
Also true. It depends. So the rule,
Like under 20. Like that's like where
yeah.
I'm
Well,
comfortable.
from what I understand,
Over
like
20.
the creep rule is 7 years, right? So it's 7 years up,
Wait,
seven
what's
years,
creep
7
rule?
years down. Now, yeah,
That's-
that's no. Hear me out. That's the rule. Like apparently, it's 7 years. I think that's weird.
Well,
But
I mean,
it's
seven
not.
years from what age though?
But it's not weird the older you are. So if you're a 40-year-old with
Yeah.
a 33-year-old, that's fine. 37 with
Yeah.
30, that's cool. But like at 26, there is no goddamn way I'm dating a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you have
Like,
you have
like-
an age you won't go to? Like you have an age where you won't like because for me like because I'm 24 and I'm not in a situation where I could like date anybody like who's like super has their life together. That sounds horrible. But like like I couldn't date somebody who's like 30. I don't think I could do that.
my
Like
thing
seriously,
is,
like a serious date.
I have a safe thing.
or a
Of,
responsible 30-year-old. A responsible 30.
I have a safe thing of 4 years. So 4 years up, 4 years down. So 30 and 22 is my like
Okay.
soft spot. I
That's
think
not
that's
horrible.
fair because like
32
wow.
though? Do you think you're ready to date someone who's 32? I don't think you are.
What 30? I said
30, sorry. Do you think you
Yeah.
date someone that's 30?
I've been on a few
Dude,
dates
that's
with.
just a number. Sam, people who are 30 don't necessarily have their life together.
Yeah,
No,
I-
that's why I said. That's why I said like a mature, like a put together 30-year-old.
I've been on a few
Right.
dates with put together 30-year-olds. Yeah.
Because think about it. You usually graduate university or college about 22, and
Uh-huh.
if you're lucky enough, you get into the workforce, and within a year or so or two of looking for a job, let's say it takes you 2 years,
So,
you've been working like in an actual like industry or your career for about like 7 years at that time. Like
Sure,
that's kinda,
I think it all depends on who you are as a person, right? Like, so
Yeah.
so for me, like I'm not gonna flex, but like for me, right? I have my own company. I have plans. You know, for all intents and purposes, I'm an adult, and I'm
Mhm.
pretty put together, right? So I feel like I can provide something to a 30-year-old who has their life together and has
Oh.
things going.
See,
Now-
I'm a mess.
You know,
I know I
now,
can't.
on the
I've-
opposite of that, at 22, I'm still kind of there too, where I'm not like as put together, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah, no, I got you.
I can increase things depending on the age I'm dating, just to kind of
Yeah.
keep it level. you
I
what I
know
mean? So it
Corlin doesn't care. Corlin's like, yo, as long as she breathes.
But from my experience, like my most successful is between like 22 and like 24, 25.
Yeah. Brandon?
So yeah.
I'm liking those numbers. I mean, like,
I'm liking
overall,
those numbers.
I'm liking them. I'm liking them.
I've maybe like messed around with like a 30-year-old before, but
Yeah,
it's like
I understand that.
it's yeah, for dating wise, definitely not. I'd probably say yeah, like I like the 4 year up, 4 year down.
4 year up, 4 year down. I can do
Yeah.
4 years down. I don't know about 4 years. Like 28, maybe.
You
I
gotta
feel
look
like
at it
I'm
this
just-
way. At the end of the day, man, age is just a number. like obviously like
Tell
make
that to
sure,
R. Kelly.
make sure they're legal. But what I'm saying is there
R.
are.
Kelly did a bit more than just.
What I'm
that.
saying is, Sam, like you're in school right now still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in school right now. You stay up until 6 a.m. watching anime. You know,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Whoa, don't blast me, bro. What the fuck?
there are 40-year-olds who don't have their life together. You know what I mean?
That's very
Like
true.
it really doesn't matter the age.
All in all, though, I think this is a pretty solid conversation.
You know what's the scary thing? There's probably so much more we could have talked about, and we just didn't get to it. We might have to do a part 2 to this.
Honestly, I think we could definitely do a part 2.
Part,
And
like,
maybe we'll talk
8.
more about like where to go on dates, right? Like what would be the most strategic date?
You know what?
There
Like,
was about 15 minutes of this conversation.
yeah.
Was literally an argument between Sam and Corlin about the same movie date, with Sam reiterating the same 2 points over and over 3 different ways.
Because he kept saying, because like when I said it, he's like, that doesn't make sense. And I'm like, it does, it works. It works.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna get
God.
with you on that.
You know what the
This will be
no
for
no
another-
I'm gonna
All I'm
end it
saying-
right now. I'm gonna end it right now. You know what
all
the
I'm saying is the most strategic thing you can
I'm
do.
gonna
You
end
try
it
to
right
make
now.
Money, but still keep.
Bro,
It's
You
the
know
most
what?
strategic.
No. You know what the
Rock
best
Lee
date
is a
is?
top
Rock Lee's a top 3. I'll kill you, Brandon. Don't you bring up Rock Lee again.
Alright,
Anyway,
how about
guys,
how about
thank you for
end it?
watching. Maybe we'll hit you guys with a part 2.
Hey, I didn't, wait. I didn't say you ended, Sam. I said Rico ended.
Oh, wait, I'm ending it?
Yeah, you ended.
Okay.
Yo, Sam, yo, I said I'm the Messiah, bro. Shut up. I'm the Messiah.
All right.
It's
Am
been signed.
I ending this episode?
Yeah,
So,
go for it.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Booyaka.
All right.
Yo, shut up.
Thank you for watching. This has been what is this called? Off topic, foreplay, whatever the fuck we call this. It doesn't really matter. You just heard 4 dudes like talk really shitty about dating for like 40 minutes. So
And I know we probably come off mad misogynistic, but
No,
we
that's just
really
you.
are. But we really are.
That's just you.
no, I'm a feminist.
All right. End episode.
Yeah.